Imagine standing on a bridge so narrow your boots hang over the edge. Imagine staring straight down into a jagged gorge, hundreds of feet below. This chart shows the exact route of that trek. It snakes through 415 kilometers of hostile mountainous terrain, connecting Thailand directly to Burma. But the altitude isn't the most dangerous thing about this place. During World War II, the construction of this single stretch of rail cost over 120,000 human lives. It wasn't built using standard engineering practices. Every tie and rail was laid through sheer brute force and forced human sacrifice. So when tourists ride these trains today, looking out at the sweeping views, they are traveling directly over a massive, literal graveyard. In 1942, the Japanese Imperial Army was advancing rapidly, and they urgently needed a reliable overland supply route to fuel their campaigns in Burma. The geography stood directly in their way. The proposed route required pushing through an incredibly dense, tangled canopy of jungle that engineers previously thought impossible to conquer. Due to severe wartime shortages, the Japanese military lacked heavy earth-moving machinery, steam shovels, or even adequate modern tools. To solve this logistical nightmare, they conscripted a massive forced workforce, assembling tens of thousands of Allied prisoners of war and local Asian laborers. Without mechanical infrastructure, commanders replaced bulldozers and dynamite with raw human flesh, extracting grueling physical labor from severely exhausted men. Entire hillsides had to be completely leveled. Workers swarmed in embankments, carving out the path by hand, and carrying tons of heavy earth and stone in simple woven baskets. The most notorious section of the line is known as Hellfire Pass. Here, the laborers had to chisel a deep canyon straight through solid limestone. The relentless work demanded brutal 18-hour shifts. The pass earned its name from the eerie, hellish glow of bamboo torches burning deep into the night as men chipped away at the rock. Basic workplace safety equipment was entirely non-existent. Exhausted workers regularly suffered fatal falls or were crushed by sudden rock slides in the dark. These mountains were conquered by bleeding the workforce dry until the rock finally surrendered. Beyond the mountains, the route faced massive ravines. The only way forward was to build immense wooden trestle bridges that suspended the track along the cliff faces. These terrifying structures were built entirely by hand, with laborers lashing together complex wooden scaffolding while balancing over lethal drops. Standing on those tracks today, you can see the immediate lack of guardrails between the train and the precipice below. Meanwhile, the jungle itself acted as a secondary executioner. Severe monsoon rains flooded the camps, bringing deadly cholera outbreaks and rampant starvation. The Japanese commanders ruthlessly enforced speedo periods, accelerating the construction schedule regardless of the weather or illness, turning the labor camps into an organized death march. Out of the roughly 300,000 POWs and conscripted laborers forced into the jungle, over 120,000 never returned. This maps the staggering death toll directly onto the completed track, dividing the lives lost by 415 kilometers. Zooming into a single kilometer reveals a grim density, 290 deaths. That breaks down to a human life lost every few steps.